Okay, welcome to another episode of Unstoppable REI. I'm here with my friend Jessica Sutherland. You might know her as Invest with Jess. Did I get that right?
You did get that right.
All right.
Yes. Thanks for the invite, Rufus.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm just going to jump right in and I want to know your story. Tell me like your 30-second elevator pitch. Tell me about Invest with Jess. Tell me everything. I want to know it all.
Oh boy. Invest with Jess was actually pretty new. New into the real estate realm. I
Okay.
attempted to get my license back in 2017. Um, but honestly, my mind wasn't in the right realm. I
Okay.
wasn't in it full heartedly.
Okay.
So I walked away from that, continued doing hair. And honestly, last year I started off, um, I should say I got a mentor.
Okay.
Once I got the mentor and I started learning the basics of real
Yeah.
estating and
Yeah.
wholesaling, and the mindset switch started, 6 months prior to that.
Okay.
It started working and kind of, I don't know, falling into place, so to speak.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't necessarily have like an elevator pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just kind of where my journey has been thus far. So
You know what I love about you is that now you have kids, right? How many kids do you have?
I do. I've got two girls, a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Man, that's a pretty big gap. Okay, so we have to get into that.
Yeah.
So, any plans for any more? I'm just curious.
I would love to have more, but
Okay.
I'm getting older. So
Yeah.
I made it happen. If not, I'm blessed with who I got.
Okay, but I love women entrepreneurs, especially when you've got kids, because I mean, women. I mean, it's a different mentality. I mean, it's funny. So when I'm talking with my wife, just at any given moment, we're in the car talking, or whatever. I'm like, honey, what are you thinking about? You know, she's thinking about like 58,000 things. Okay,
100%. Yeah.
yes. And she's like,
Yep.
and she said, what do you think about? Oh, I'm thinking about, what I want to have, whether I'm going to go to Starbucks or Caribou or whatever, some basics. Like, what? And she's thinking about how I'm going to create world peace. And I'm going to try, so I love it. So to fit real estate in with all you're doing, plus you do hair in Chicago. I mean, so just tell me. So, okay. How long have you done hair? You've been doing hair, rather. How long?
Since 2004, so almost
Okay.
20 years.
Okay. And how long have you been doing real estate? This is fairly new.
This is my first year.
Okay.
It's my
nice.
first year in real estate. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, so tell me what, so what made you decide to make the switch to real estate? I mean, just, you said you got a mentor. I mean, what, did you read some books? I mean, what happened?
So I've always had an interest in real estate.
Okay.
I was one of those people that would watch those TV shows,
Yeah.
fix and flips, and like be like, oh, I want to do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
But honestly, the big flip and the big switch for me to pursue investing versus getting a real estate license
Yeah.
was the mindset. It was a
Okay.
mindset shift. When I started working for myself and opened my own business as doing hair,
Yeah.
there was just like a light switch that clicked for me.
Okay.
And like the sweatshirt says, mindset is everything.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I think that once you start learning new tactics and learning that when you change the way you think, the things around you change is really kind
Yes.
of where things fell into place for me.
Yeah.
And it really was like, meeting the right people at the right time to help kind of, spark that flame inside me
Yeah.
to want to do more and to continue to do more.
Okay.
So like I said, real estate's always been there.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it was. I think it was just meeting the right people
Sure.
to, show me the ropes, show me what I need to do.
Yeah.
This is, as an investor, if you're starting off and you don't have the money and the funds to invest in a fix and flip,
Yeah.
wholesaling is a great way to go.
Sure.
But you don't have to just stop there. There's so many other methods that you can go about with real estate. And it's
Yeah.
just opened my mind. There's a lot going on up here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm with it. I'm with it. So what are some of the resources that you've used that have helped you kind of along the way here?
Right now I use Zillow. I've used PropStream. Referrals are my first deal was a referral.
Okay.
And being in the hair industry was kind of a great realm for that. The moment I started talking about what I was doing, client of mine, he owns his own roofing business. He does fix and flips. He's like, yo, I got this property for you. I don't have time to flip it. So
Yeah.
it was a pretty much guaranteed deal.
Nice.
So yeah, referrals have been big, driving for dollars.
Yeah.
A couple of lists, but calling lists is not the greatest job in the entire universe.
No, it's a horrible job. Cold calling, I hate cold calling. That's a kind of a necessary
Yeah.
evil. But tell me about that first deal. Tell me about that deal.
So the first deal was a major learning experience.
Okay.
So it's in an area. I don't know if you know Rockford, Illinois.
Yes.
It's it's not the greatest of areas. That
Yeah.
after repair value of places is fairly low.
Okay.
So my numbers, everything was super tight, and this is before I knew about the 70% rule, or or the
Okay.
what investors purchase.
Yeah.
So this was more or less like, all right, cool. I was just learning this. I'm like, we're gonna have to be at 10K. Like just knowing where like the repairs had to be into it.
Yeah.
The duplex was only gonna appreciate up to 75, maybe 80K.
Okay.
And it needed 30 to 40 and work in it. I mean, if you
Okay.
stayed on the low end, you could probably get 30 out of it.
All right.
So I locked it up for 10K. We agreed on that. First buyer comes by, looks at it. He's like, all right, cool. Let's do 15. Sweet. Small assignment fee. It's my first deal.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
excited.
Of course.
And he ghosts me.
Oh.
The buyer ghosted me. So
Oh man.
back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
So I go to remarket the property. I get a lot of people biting, and they're all asking around, obviously, with the price that I have it locked up at. So I was like, all right, cool. Went back to the seller. I was like, hey, where do you need to be to walk away?
Yeah.
And he's like, he got it at an auction for like 6K and some change.
Okay.
It's like 7K. He's like, I got to pay off last year's taxes. And he's like, that'll put a couple change in my pocket.
Yeah.
Cool. So we locked it up for 7K, found a second buyer for 12K.
Yeah.
Learned to have to put my foot down. Some of these buyers, and I think she was newer when it comes to buying, fixing and flipping. Her and her boyfriend are doing it.
Yeah.
She kept dragging her feet when it came to go into closing.
Yeah.
And so I learned through my mentor, hey, sometimes you got to put your foot down.
Yeah.
We gave you 24 hours to put this in, 48 hours to put this in, and it's been almost 7 days now.
Wow.
It's get it in by 5 o'clock, or we're canceling the contract.
Yeah.
And so like the moment I said that, she
woke up.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But she got the earnest money deposit in. We went to closing a week later.
And made some money.
But it was almost a 2-month process to do that first deal.
Wow. So did you get money up front from her when you locked it up with her, or no?
I did not. No.
Okay.
And again, another learning experience.
Oh yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I think that what happens, first of all, you learn more. This is my opinion. You learn more from failing than you do from the successes.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So, and then you get to the point where you're not scared to fail. You just jump in there and make it happen. So, no, I get that. But, so tell me, so have you had a deal that you failed big time? Tell me about the biggest real estate failure and what you learned from it. Have you had a big bomb?
I don't think I've had one specifically yet.
Got it.
I mean, a lot of properties that would go under contract and then not make it to closing.
Okay, but no big failures, lost money.
No, I've had lost money in other things. Being tricked into the stupid crypto market BS and.
Okay, that's another story. That's another podcast.
I've had other failings.
Yeah.
I've had other failings. But I've also realized that, like, especially if you're going to get into this real estate realm, consistency seriously is key. Consistency will get you rolling in the right direction. And it's hard to take yourself from an employee mindset into boss mode.
Yeah,
I have to do X, Y, and Z,
or
I'm not going to get to A, B, and C.
Yeah.
That's been the hardest thing for me in this journey. I've allowed a lot of things kind of to distract me. You have to learn to switch those distractions off.
Oh, sure.
So this past year has just been a real major learning experience, but it's been an awesome one. I've been enjoying the ride. So.
No, that's great. So who are, if you had to name like your top 3 most influential people in your life, just across the board? Doesn't have to necessarily be just real estate. I mean, just in general, who's influenced you?
In my life, influential. Whew.
Yeah. Tough questions. I'm hitting the tough ones now.
I thought about this one more. Yeah, it is a tough
Give me one.
one.
Give me one. Just one. The person who has influenced you the most in your life. Just give me one.
It shouldn't be this hard to say. I'm gonna go with my aunt.
Okay.
And then again, she's not the real estate realm, but the person that she is.
Yeah.
She just wholeheartedly loves everybody. She wants to help anyone she can.
Okay.
Everything matters. So my Aunt Ann, she's amazing. Love her to death.
Auntie M, did you say?
Ann, A-N-N.
Oh, Ann. Okay.
Ann.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's an amazing person.
Okay.
So,
Nice. So do you like to, I mean, what do you like to read? I mean, where you get your information? Do you read or do you
mhm,
podcast? Do
that's a
you,
great question.
yeah.
So, I come from a background of I used to hate reading.
Okay.
And it's not super enjoyable for me now, but I've learned the books and the types of books that I like to read.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy them more. And I've read a lot of self-development books, but what started my journey was I read The Secret. Now I'm on this one, The Magic.
Nice. Okay.
But my journey started with The Secret, and I've had this book for years.
Okay.
And I would start it, stop, forget about it for months. Oh, found the book again, start reading again, get a chapter in, start all over again. I'm talking almost 10 years that I did this.
Okay.
And I just wouldn't, because I didn't like reading. I didn't comprehend things. I'm a creative thinker.
Yeah,
so
sure.
to read, it's like, I'll read, my brain goes crazy. But anyway, so The Secret is what started me in this journey of like entrepreneur and mindset change. Once I did that, I was referred to Think and Grow Rich.
Nice.
The Science of Getting Rich.
Yes.
What else have I done? Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Partially through Rich Dad Poor Dad's Financial IQ.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of other ones. Who Not How. Future Proofing You.
Yeah.
Stop Overthinking, because I overthink everything. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I loved that book.
Okay.
Tons of them. I've gone through a lot, and the majority of those books I did all last year.
I love it. So, all right. So, you hit a lot of my favorites: Secret, Think and Grow Rich. So, tell me about The Secret. Bottom line for me. What did you learn from that? I mean, and what are you applying from that?
So, with The Secret, just knowing that you attract what you put out into the universe.
Okay.
So, it was just a major light bulb that went off. It's like, if you sit here and think about how, oh, I don't have enough money for that, and you keep thinking about it, you're going to continue to not have enough money for that.
Yeah.
If you sit here and you continue to say, I'm so stupid because you did something wrong, your brain thinks that you're telling yourself you're stupid and that you're not incapable of doing it.
Right.
Something I started doing was I try to catch myself saying the word can't. And I love the people around me who will call me out on it if I ever do say the word can't. Because I try to instill in my girls that you are capable of doing anything. The word can't is more of like a I won't, or not right now sort of situation.
Sure.
So being within what I've learned with law of attraction is just the way that you think, the energy that you put out there. It's what do you call it? The effect, I'm missing a word for it, but there's some sort of an effect that happens.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I said no. I don't know the word you're looking for, but like describe it to me. The effect of attracting what you think.
You know, yes, or something like that. Like, like one good thing happens, the next good thing happens, or vice versa. If something negative happens, the next good thing happens.
Sure. I don't know I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the word either. Yes, I'm following you. So, but that's one of my favorite books. There's an app. There's the Secret app. Do you know about that?
I did not know this.
Yes, look it up.
I did not know this.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, look it up. And what's really cool about it is it gives you affirmations that you can say. It gives you like a word, inspiration for the day. So like a thought. And it also, this is the coolest part in the world. It gives you checks to deposit, then you spend the money, and then it gives you more checks. So you get used to doing checks. So it starts you off, I believe it starts you off with like 1,000 and it goes. I'm up to like 300. I got a $300,000 check. So send it, you deposit it into the bank, and then you have to tell it what you want to spend it on. And then once it's spent, then they send you another one. It keeps growing and growing. I'm anxious to see how high it grows. But the whole idea is what you're talking about is that, yeah, I love that because you're in control. I mean, you're the one that, it's like whatever you think about, it's what you attract. And I've spent a lot of time this year in particular on that because I realized that, it's like how you're feeling, the feelings that and the thoughts you think and the feelings that you have when you think about a particular subject tells you whether, like money tells you whether you are attracting it or repelling it.
Right.
And so but that's very intentional. You have to do it. I mean, because you could just, it's just easier to just be negative. I can never do that. No, I can't do that.
It's so much easier to do that because majority of society, that's what they do. Oh, I can't do that. There's so many people around me, and I love everyone that is around me. Being a hairstylist, and you're constantly having these conversations, and not everybody's going to be thinking the way that I've kind of changed the way I think. So I've had to learn to just go with the conversation in some aspects, because a lot of people will tell me, oh, well, you can't do that, that's a scam, you can't do that, that's too hard, oh, you can't do that, that's, you know what I mean? And it's
absolutely.
I'll sit here and I'll be like, okay, kind of go with what they're saying, but at the same time, like, I got to go back when I'm home and be like, I can do this.
That's right.
I can figure out a way to do that.
So, and it seems crazy.
It's a lot of a mental strain.
Yeah, well, it seems crazy because it's not something that we were taught to do. So you're talking to yourself and you're talking out loud, and but that's what you have to do. So do you have a list of goals written down?
So I had a list of goals that I wanted to achieve this year.
Okay. Do you have them written down? I
need to rewrite them down because I have not achieved any of those goals. But I also set this list ridiculously high. And I'm coming from further down on the totem pole, that I gotta work my way up a little bit harder than other people.
Oh, sure.
And I know that's something I gotta do. So I gotta rewrite out now kind of where things are going.
Sure.
I had been waiting to purchase an investment property. I wanted to get a quadplex, house hack. And just things were not lining up for me. Maybe that wasn't my destiny just to start off with. But I had held off on doing other things, such as getting loans to start other things, or I worked for an investor for a few months. So that stopped me from putting out, the consistency of cold calling to get another deal locked up. And just now getting back into the realm of consistency. And
I'm with you. But don't beat yourself up. I think that the whole idea is, the only reason I asked about the goal thing is that you just have, the whole idea behind success is just, you decide what you want and you write it down, and then every day you make little steps toward that. And so one of the things that I try to do, because I have big goals like you, because I've read, the goal needs to be big enough to drive you. Like, I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean? So, so I have huge goals, and, I don't tell people all my goals because they think it's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to get that around me. But I guess my point is just that don't be afraid to set big goals, and I just try to make sure at the end of the day or the end of the week that I've made some progress. Just one more. Just one more kind of thing. So I think that's the key. So let me ask you this. So I think I might have shared this with you, but first of all, the name of the podcast is Unstoppable REI. The reason why I named it that is because if you Google the term real estate investor failure rate, and I think this is true probably across the board with entrepreneurs, but real estate investors in particular, real estate investors have a 95% failure rate. Now, people, when I say that, they think that I'm blowing smoke and whatever, and they look it up and like, Rufus, you're right, it does. I mean, all I got to do is look it up and you'll see. And so, right, exactly. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's marketing, but I think a lot of it is mindset, though. A lot of it is, it's like, if you believe that you can, and if you believe that you can't, those two people are both right. You can do it, you can't. So anyway, so I want to know two things from you. I want you to tell me your definition of the word unstoppable, and then tell me what you've done in your life to make yourself unstoppable. As a woman, as a mother, you get hit with tons of obstacles. I'm sure you do. So tell me how you define unstoppable, and how you make yourself, what you've done to make yourself unstoppable.
Defining unstoppable?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah. For you.
I just made up my mind one day, and I said, this works or this works. There is no plan B, because the moment you give yourself an exit strategy to fall back on, you don't put in as much work. You don't work as hard.
Right.
The reason why, in my mind shift of why I become unstoppable and keep going, my girls. I want to show my girls that regardless of how hard life can be as a single mom, financially, independently, I want to show them that anything's possible. You want to go to school and get a degree? Awesome. You can do it. You know the steps you need to do it. You don't want to go to college, you don't want to get a degree? awesome. You will find a way to thrive. My 7-year-old. Maybe the CEO of many, many businesses.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, for Unstoppable, for me, it's like, it's for my family. No one in my family that I know of has made 7 figures, possibly 6 figures, but my immediate family, for my parents, brother, myself, and close aunts and uncles, I don't think they're around 6 figures. And that's my goal, is like, I want to have 6-figure months, and work from 6-figure months to 6-figure days. There's no limit to what I'm going to be capable of, and I'm going to do what I can. The one thing I need to learn is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I am one of those people that, like, I get these ideas and I want them yesterday.
Want to hit it. Yeah. I can appreciate that. I can tell that about you. But I knew that when I found out you had kids and stuff, I knew that I just have a high level of respect for single moms in particular. And the idea that you can, you make the decision to do something. I mean, 'cause it's like, you don't have to stay where you are, not just you specific, but in general. It's like, you don't like where you are, change it. Okay. And obviously that's easier said than done. You know what I mean? But I love that about you. You're a go-getter. And I can tell that just by talking to you and listening to you. One thing I'll say, and I'll let you run here, because I could talk to you all day here. I'm enjoying our time together.
This is fun. No,
it's cool. See, and when you first reached out to me, it sounded like you were a little bit nervous. Were you kind of nervous?
I was just nervous because, like, I don't have, like, a cute background or whatnot. I just moved my office from the living room to my room. So
yeah. You know what's funny about that is that my wife, I just grabbed a little corner in our house and I was starting to do podcasts and all that stuff. My wife's like, hey, you gotta get out. She threw me down in the basement. So I had to go down the basement and put a background and all this stuff. So I'm telling all my secrets. So you can't tell that to anybody. But anyway, all right, I love it. So I tried to think about, like, what is, like you mentioned, 6 figures. Like, let me ask you this. What is the biggest amount of money you can think of? How much is a lot of money to you?
A lot of money to me, $1 million. I mean, and honestly, like, I can't even say $1 million because that can go so quickly. There's so many things I can do with $1 million.
Yeah.
But let's talk billions, because billions,
that's big.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So, and that's what I try to do, is to try to think in my mind, how big can I think? I'm going to think of a big number. Like, okay, somebody said, hey, write your check. Money's no object. How much you want? $1 million. I mean, like I said, that's no big deal. So I started thinking billion. Then I started thinking trillion. Do you know what the biggest number is? Mathematical number?
I heard this before.
Yeah, this is a test. This is a test, Jessica. It's actually.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Actually, it's a Googleplex. A Googleplex. So Google is, Googleplex is the largest. Next one is a Google. And if you look that up and see, it's like a 1 with like 1,000 zeros or something. I mean, it's like a really, really big number. But anyway, my point is this, that you're only going to ascend to high as you can think. And so we talk about a billion and million. So a billion seconds is 31 years. It's 31 years? Yeah, I think, or maybe it's 31,000 years. And I think a trillion seconds is like, I forget it. I think I got my numbers mixed up. But my point, I messed up my whole point. Is this a lot? Yes, it's a lot. And if you're only thinking of $1 million, not that $1 million is a little bit of money, because if somebody say, hey, I got $1 million for you, you want it? Yes, I do want it. But
exactly, yeah.
But it's like, if you don't think big, you're not going to get big. I guess is my only point. But look up a trillion seconds and a billion seconds. It's like, because I have it written down, so I can't remember. But it's the difference between a billion and a trillion is so incredibly crazy. I mean, I think it's like 31 years versus like 31 million years or something. I mean, it's like really big. But anyway, so but I love hanging out with you. I don't want this to be the last time. I want us to hook up again if you're good with that. I want to know about your transitions with real estate and what you're doing. And let's talk again sometime. I really appreciate you taking time to chat with me. So this wasn't so bad, right?
Absolutely. This has been awesome. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that. So, all right, cool. Well, Jessica, so let's talk again soon, and you take care. And what city are you in Illinois?
I'm in a small town called Lakemore. It's about an hour 15 or so from the city, northwest of the city.
Okay, because I used to
So
live in Chicago.
you know, close enough to Wisconsin border. Yeah.
Oh, so it's that direction.
Close enough to Wisconsin border. I hit Wisconsin border.
Okay.
Yeah.
We used to live closer to like Schaumburg and that area. That's on the opposite from where you are, right?
Yeah. So we talked about this. My shop's in Hoffman Estates.
Oh,
right off the corner of Higgins and Roselle.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's kind of a high end area, right? Hoffman Estates. Is that pretty high end?
Yeah.
If I remember.
It's a great area.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And this is your shop? Or you work for another person?
So okay. I rent a suite.
Got it. I love that.
So I rent a suite. Okay. My next goal is to try and find some investors who want to buy the building with me, because nice. I don't want to just stay in this tiny little, 100 square foot suite. I want to buy the building, and I want to have, I want to house and employ all those who are doing this. I want to have a conference room set up in there so that I can teach financial literacy and, help them set up their business properly. Like, I want to do big things, and like taking that step in November of 2020 to go and work for myself and have faith in myself that I am worth it and that I can do it.
Yeah.
As scary as it was, because November 2020, I didn't know jack shit about business. Nothing.
Oh, okay. So, I love that. I'm gonna hook you up with. There's a couple of women that have you heard of Lady Landlords, I think it's called. Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Okay. I might have heard it.
All right. I'm gonna put you in touch with some of those people because there's a women that are doing big stuff. This one woman, she says they're doing like. Just doing deals less than 100 doors, and they own like 1,000 doors, and it's like, and it's good to be around. Because you only got. Number one, you can't be the smartest person in the room, right? And you're only going to rise to the level of, I heard, like your 5 closest associates. It's like you got to hang out with the right kind of people, making the kind of money where you want, that you want to make it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll shoot you that information. So anyway, but I'll shut up because I'll start talking about a whole nother subject. But thanks for your time, and we'll talk again real soon. Okay. All right. Sounds good. You take care. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
okay.
Chris. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye now.
All right.